Hey guys, it's Brendan Ayer. Before we get started, if you like the show, make sure you subscribe, rate it, review it. All that stuff helps. Follow us on social media, Shitbrains Show on every platform. We even got YouTube. We got a Facebook group. And if you want bonus content, go to patreon.com/shitbrainshow. And if you have questions you want answered on the podcast, hit up shitbrainshow@gmail.com. Enjoy the program.
My brain is shit, man. It's shitty. Like it doesn't function properly. It just does whatever it wants. Life's still pretty good. This is Shit Brains.
Welcome to Shit Brains, the comedy program with just enough mental health talk to maybe make us popular. I'm Brendan Ayer. I got a shit brain. I'm riddled with mental illness. I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, Jimmy Graham. Jimmy, I also kind of, not a shitty brain, I would say, right?
It's definitely shitty.
Okay,
I just, don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Refuse to find out.
That's great. That's a smart policy when it comes to mental health. Never get it looked into, I always say.
Ignore it, deny it till the end.
Yes, that is good. And before we move along, I have to introduce our guest. Probably one of my very favorite comedians, a guy that was, and I know he hates this fucking shit, but a guy that was really inspirational to me, Mike Polk is here. Mike, how you doing?
Thanks, guys. How many episodes are we in so far?
You are on the first.
The inaugural.
But we don't know what order. We're going to get like 5 in the can.
So we don't know what order you'll put them in.
It's going to depend on like the strength.
You'll probably want to save me for that Albert Bell 4 spot.
Yeah, knock it out of the park. Yeah,
Yep.
or just chase some fucking kids down the block on Halloween.
So I got the theme. That's why it's called Shit Brains.
Yes.
Because both of you have mental health issues.
Yes.
As we all do, really. Do I need these? I
No,
can hear you.
no, you
You're
don't.
more ornamental.
No, some people like the headphones.
Because it
some
makes
people
them look like they're on a podcast?
Yeah, I only wear it. Mine are turned off.
Okay.
This is all.
I just didn't know if we were going to be hearing like wacky crack 'em ups through their song cues. Or
We do need a soundboard to be safe.
guys, some Ray Stevens might bust in like
Yeah,
this.
I tried to get the classic morning drive time radio soundboard going like.
But I like the premise. I'll say that. I do. I think it's smart. I think it's smart that you guys are doing this, and because that is something unique about both of you. And I do know that. We all have our own mental health, but you guys have what would you say? Pronounced, I guess, or more more externalized, more acted upon. How can I get out of this?
Well, I feel pretty strongly. I mean, here's what I think.
Okay.
Is that I think over the course of this podcast, I will fix Jimmy's. Because I do think Jimmy's is just
fixable.
Alcohol.
Okay.
It's very
Right.
heavy. What are your thoughts on that? You think there's craziness beyond the alcohol, or what do you think?
I definitely do personally.
Okay.
But it's up to him to say that
Yeah.
too. And I don't think that's bad. I think if we're going to get to the bottom of it, it's better that you don't think you fix it just by taking the booze away.
Right.
I mean, if you're just going to get into his youth and his like how he was raised and stuff like that, like you're going to find some stuff that's not booze related back there.
Yeah, we're gonna
it's not
go
a pretty
deep.
picture back. I mean, some of it's really beautiful, or else we wouldn't have this little cherub with us right now. Obviously.
Well, that's the thing. He's this shining star of shit. You know what I mean? And me too. Like I feel good. I think I have these 6 diagnosed mental illnesses, but I wouldn't trade them because I feel like I don't like other people.
Yeah.
I like me, and
seems tedious.
Yeah, most people I dislike. So,
but there's some heavy stuff that comes with that.
Yeah,
obviously.
yeah.
But you wouldn't go back to normalcy and just being like, right?
No. I mean, I hope not to go back to when I hung myself, but that was
right. You got to know
that was
when
a bummer. You got to know when to draw the line.
Yep, exactly.
But we always start, Mike, with a Jimmy check. And last week's Jimmy check, Jimmy was with a young lady, and his penis malfunctioned, as they are wont to do. Mine works 45% of the time. Hard to say.
Not a bad batting average. That'll get you to Cooperstown.
Yeah, exactly. And Jimmy's solution was to take 3 dick pills and smoke a shit ton of DMT. Which you presented the DMT as if it was part of the penile.
Did you see something online where those two as a combo work especially well?
No, it was sprung on me. And I'm very impulsive, so if you offer me DMT while I'm fucking you, I'm going to smoke it.
Like mid-fuck DMT?
Mid-fuck.
Who just is? First of all, forgive me. How does one take DMT? What is it?
You smoke it.
Oh, it's a smoking.
It's a
drug.
smokable.
Smoking drug.
It's a
smokable.
smokable.
I think. I don't know. It could have been anything.
What is this? Shootable or smokable?
Yeah. So mid. Like, was she not having a good time? Where she's just like,
Probably.
I need more recreational drugs.
Not more recreate. You know what I need right now is the world's most the world's most famously mind altering drug to have sex
and
with
I'm
you.
drunk, hardest boner of all time.
Yeah.
Thinking I'm killing it.
I know. I'm sitting next to it still.
I know. See this thing?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but
they can tell when it's a fake boner.
No way.
Yeah, they can. Your heart's not in it. They know that. They know you had to take it. For
Looking out the window.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking.
I got a hand job one time from a Hasidic Jewish woman who was looking out the window the whole time, and I just go, hey. We don't have to do that. I don't know culturally what's going on here, but like,
you guys
I'm
have some
out.
weird traditions.
Yeah, I don't.
I could dig that, honestly.
Yeah.
Just look the other way. This is fine. Let me take care of it.
Yeah, I mean, I lied. I let her let her finish.
Nice.
But now, what's this week's Jimmy check? What happened this week?
180 degree turn. I am now 65 hours and 44 minutes sober.
Nice, dude.
You got it on the timer right here.
I literally have the time.
You got a Perrier. He's drinking a Perrier. It's like this is a very Hollywood turnaround.
It's a fake vodka soda. I'm tricking my alcoholic brain.
That's fine. You got to do what you got to do, man.
I was over at Mike's house the other night. We were doing we're also in a band together, if you didn't know that, called the Stepdads of Galway.
We only play on St. Patrick's Day in my garage.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I mean, that's when we perform. We practice all year.
Yeah, you gotta. I like a band that does a 364 to 1 practice to gig ratio.
Yep.
And that's all the best.
That's why we bring the heat.
Yeah, all the best.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So we were doing Stepdad's practice, and I went and bought fucking Heineken 0.0s. And I hated it. I was literally, Mike can attest to this, throwing them up in my mouth.
Embarrassed.
Yeah, it was
He did. He walked in. He's like, I brought this 6er. I didn't even know Heineken. And I asked him immediately, like, if you're not even doing it for the benefit of alcohol, why would you pick like the worst tasting beer that doesn't have alcohol in it too? That's gross.
Perrier, baby.
All right. Well, that's why you're going that route.
I will say, as a sober person, the non-alcoholic beer I find to be worthless, because all it does, like, the only thing it's going to do is just make you want beer, and it's bad,
and make your friends make fun of you.
Yeah,
and create a conversation. Just get a Coke.
Yeah, it's all around, because you're a guy who's earned the fucking right. Like, I don't like straight edge guys. Like, I like guys that had a real problem that quit. I don't like guys that are like, I never tried it. It's like, what are you, an idiot? It could be your favorite thing.
Yeah.
Like, you could love it. Like,
totally.
But I, did all the drugs and drank and quit. And you've earned the right to be a Perrier guy, so you don't need to go with these Heineken 0.0s.
I learned that.
Yeah.
But I'm sober for
that's great,
almost 3 days. It sucks. It really fucking sucks. I went and did a crowd work show. Do you know how brutal that was?
So you went through. We're a terrible band, by the way. You went through an Irish stepdad band like rehearsal sober, and then you went and did a crowd work show sober
for no money, painfully aware.
Oh boy,
it was wild. But this is all by court order, by the way.
Yeah, it's not like he's trying to turn it over.
It's not like you're just making a good decision.
Absolutely not. No, this is like
he's not there yet.
This is me trying to avoid getting held down with a barbell and by the heartless felon at the county jail.
Yeah, sure.
But I got until 11 a.m. tomorrow, and then I go drop piss, and then go into the bar.
Okay. Well, what if 11 a.m. tomorrow, and I don't really care because I'll be honest, this is great for your life, horrible for the Jimmy Check segment. Last week's Jimmy Check, off the charts. This week, real boring.
Super boring.
But for your life, I'm willing to sacrifice this podcast for the improvement of your life. What if at 11 a.m. tomorrow you're like feeling okay? Maybe don't go to the bar, you know?
That's probably what's going to happen. I'm not a day drinker.
Right, okay.
I'll just go to the park or something.
Oh, shit. Is this like an AA podcast? Was this all a trap?
No.
Okay, thank God.
No.
I was like, you motherfuckers. I've known you for years, and this is how you try and get me on the wagon.
It's weird, Mike. I don't like other sober people. I want to be the only one. I don't, other sober people, I'm kind of like,
no, you can handle being sober. I've been around you sober a lot. You're very pleasant sober.
Yeah, well,
and you're funny. You don't suck. You're not lame.
You've never known me drunk.
I know you drunk.
No.
I've seen you drunk.
No, you haven't. I started comedy already. I got sober when I was 23. So you've never seen me drunk on drugs. So
well, good for you then.
Yeah, well, it's weird because I
thought you were a more recent convert.
No. I'll have 15 years. I'll have 16 years. 2005. I'll have 16 years in November. But,
well, good for you, man. Congrats.
But I'm not one of these guys that is like trying to get other people to do it. Like I like my friends to do drugs. Like,
that's why I was surprised though when I heard that you got sober or you were something sober because I was like, out of all of my comic friends, and they all drink, and I've seen him, and he's always at bars, and he never seemed more fucked up than any of the other ones. But it turns out that you were just sober, and I was unaware.
Well, I've had people not believe me, and I think I don't hear that well, and I think sometimes I talk like I'm drunk. I don't know, but so that's been Jimmy Check for the week. Jimmy is sober. And so disgruntled about it. I'm seeing it on your face. Now, I want to talk to Mike here for a second. And as you know, as me and Jimmy staunchly do not care for comedy podcasts about comedy. Because I don't know if you know this, it's been done, man.
What?
Yeah, there's a few out there. Man. And it's I live it, you know. I don't need to talk about it.
Let alone listen to it.
Can
you imagine?
Jesus Christ.
Can you imagine?
It's a fucking nightmare. There is one semi comedic question I want to ask you that really interests
me. Yeah, you're
me.
allowed to. By the way, I'm not being a prima donna about it. You can ask. I don't care. I'm not.
No. I just don't like it.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, the only thing I'll say about it is if you haven't already, check out Mike Polk's comedy. It's very good. Yeah, I enjoy it. But the one thing I found this out. I was in New York. For a brief period, I was writing and performing for this sports YouTube channel. And what I found out...
Is he always like dropping names like this and talking about his successes?
I was writing and performing for a very unsuccessful sports YouTube channel.
YouTube?
That
I like how you used a voice though like I was about to be. I'm like, here comes a big credit. He's like, for a sports YouTube station. I'm like, wow.
That's my...
I could like upload you right now doing it and be like, look, I'm just putting you on another YouTube. Beautiful.
Guys... I'm just on a second sports YouTube channel. But what I quickly realized is there is not the fucking same standard of stealing shit on YouTube. Like, I got ripped off. Like, one video that went big, like, immediately ripped off. Yeah. And you are a guy who I have seen get ripped off so much. Like, just...
It's kind of my thing.
Yeah, you were pretty big pretty early on YouTube. And, like, I think I've just seen so many fucking rip-offs of so many different things you've done.
I'm not strong at business.
How do you deal... Like, how do you not just get furious? Like, I went apeshit when this guy stole my stuff. And you have hundreds... Like, you got the Cleveland tourism video. There's hundreds of versions of that. Like, how do you deal with that shit? Do you just kind of ignore it or what?
You know, I really am. It sounds. You have a thought. Go ahead. You're gonna bust my dick.
No, you're.
All right, that's fine. I thought you were going near, but I think you were just belching.
Yeah.
That's fine. Hey, he's coming down. Shh. It's easy. Hang in there, Dark Charmer.
There's spiders on the walls.
Yeah.
No. It does suck. It was miserable, but I've been being like. First of all. I've been being ripped off for a long time in different ways, and that's not me sounding like... I'm just saying I've had a lot of practice at it. And
well, that's why I asked, because literally you're the guy I've seen the most.
I remember like my old sketch group got like totally, definitely ripped off in a thing. The first time that I really remember it happening was we did something at Chicago Sketch Fest, and we showed a video there that was and there was like there's a bunch of people at Chicago Sketch Fest.
Right.
It was like a big whatever. I don't expect anybody. I don't think I don't expect anybody. But it was like the nerd. You know how the nerd improv sketch community is. But you're getting like lessons from dudes from like I'm sure who was thinking Andy Daly was there and like those kind of guys.
Yeah, it's Chicago Sketch Fest. There's people there that if they're not already will go on to write for SNL.
Yes.
Will be will have their own shows.
Right.
There's real
so you're
industry
doing
people.
there's like a Eugene Levy is doing a seminar
Right.
that kind of shit. So it's like industry kind of stuff. And we showed one and it was and it got ripped off like 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
And it was like and that was the first one we were all like, hey, can they do that? And
Yeah.
so we spent a lot of time like me less than the other fellas, but I'm always about. I really am like more of the mindset that you can always come up with something else, and it's kind of sad when people do it, and it's a drag, and it sucks watching people get rewarded for it in some way.
Right.
But they're also not. I don't know. It depends on what you're going after, and it sucks. Obviously financially for some things and stuff like that. But it happens, and it's just part of the game. It really is.
See, I get I think more pissed off than you do about that. Specifically, the fucking what was the video? Damn it. Factory of Sadness. You seen those? Like people are like monetizing that.
But
legit.
I think, my understanding is that you worked something out there because that infuriated me.
Sure,
that really infuriated me because I love that video and I'm a big Browns fan.
Yeah.
And so for those of you that don't know, Mike had one of his uncountable viral videos was him outside of First Energy Stadium, kind of yelling at the stadium, calling it a factory of sadness.
Just really giving it the business.
Yeah, it then became a pretty popular T-shirt in Cleveland, Factory of Sadness.
Those dudes made a company out of that, really.
Yeah.
Also, if you guys do ever see Mike out and about in public, he loves it when you come up to him and yell "Factory of Sadness" in his face.
Or if you want to take it to the next level, now that the Browns are good, and you can just come up to me and just be like, "Hey, how about this now? Factory of Gladness?" Huh? And then he like looks at his buddy. He's like, "I did it. I told you I would." And I'm just like, "Ah ha ha ha." Yeah. And then they give me a shot of Jaeger for some reason.
Yeah, it's
and I'm
always
just like,
Jaeger.
"Oh, God
Yeah.
damn it!"
Yeah.
And a Red Dog. Where do you even get this?
Yeah.
No, yeah. So it's been happening a long time. The funny thing was watching. Josh Sneed.
Yeah.
Great guy, great comic, funny dude. We did a video watching. See, we'd already been ripped off a number of times before, but he had never been ripped off. And we did a video that you should watch sometime because it's funny. And we put it together, and it was me and him and a bunch of dudes. But it was like the 10 dudes you always find at pickup basketball, like one of those list type things.
Right.
And then we just acted them all out. Squire's in it, Michael Ivey. It's a real hit parade. It's a real who cares of Cleveland.
I remember this.
Okay,
Dude
yes.
Perfect stole it.
And they stole it.
They stole it
like
flat out.
completely.
Yeah.
And when it happened, though, I'm getting these furious texts and emails from Josh Sneed, who has never been ripped off.
Right.
And he is just like, what the? He's like, don't worry about it. I've got 10 lawyers on, And he's all, and I'm just like, okay, good luck, buddy. So you'll be all right. But he was furious. And I understood because I remember feeling a little bit of that. Never all that, but a little bit of that at the time. But it's I love that when people do. Here's what's interesting: when people like those Dude Perfect guys, like they knew they were ripping that off.
Of course.
Then that video, like it wasn't Dude Perfect numbers on it, but it was probably. I mean, I'm guessing that thing's got like 100,000 views or something like that.
Right.
So it's not like doesn't exist. People have seen it.
Yeah.
But they do the math and they say we're bigger than them. And we'll just take it. Some people will call us out, but it'll be worth it because it's a good concept and it's funny and people will like it and it'll get 1 billion views and we'll take a little bit of shit, but who cares because we'll get what we want out of it.
Right.
And they do that math. It's that deduction that's kind of creepy and gross.
Sucks. And you
know
need
what I mean?
that in this fucking
You have to.
shitty industry.
They do that
It
math.
sucks.
They're just like, it's worth just taking people's work because the hit will take from taking their work. They're that unimportant. If we were a little higher, like if people knew who we were, maybe they wouldn't have been so bold.
Exactly.
But we're at the right level where they're like, we'll just take a little bit of shit, have a big video, get $1 billion of it from YouTube currency, from YouTube views, and call it a day and go to bed with no pride or shame.
That's so.
But it happens,
so
and you can
frustrating.
let it sit in there
Right.
or you can go make something else fun.
Well,
you know what I mean?
that's
And
what-
I know that sounds too Pollyannish, but that's really what it is. It's just like, it's sad you got to do it, but you just sometimes it just happens.
Well, I think what's incredible here, I mean, it's interesting because this is a podcast where we're interested in, I'm just fascinated by the brain and like how everyone works. And it's interesting to me that both Jimmy and I are way more mad than you are. Like, I think how did you get, like, because I'm furious, and even when you brought up, because I had forgotten about the Dude Perfect thing, and
now
at
you're
the
more
time,
mad.
I was telling everyone in New York, like, this fucking, look at these two videos, like, this guy's the greatest comic, and he's motherfucker, and so and now I'm furious just hearing about it.
Getting all riled up again. He's going to start drinking. Right in front of you.
Where do they sell Coke around here?
He starts drinking, gets a noose out. God damn, Dude Perfect.
But so how did you get to that, like, level of calmness with it? Just enough times happened, or were you always just kind of like next thing?
Honestly, like I don't know, man. I mean, that's a long story, I think, but simple. We're all formed by the way we were raised, I think, and I think that we react. I think that we have one or two reactions to our parents. I think that you can do it simultaneously. You either adopt their traits and you become your father or your mother or whoever took care of you one way or the other, or you push away from them completely.
Right.
And I think you can also do a combination of those. You can get some of this and some of that and stuff like that. But my dad had an absolutely terrible temper, stressed out, Irish.
Same with my dad. My dad's from Dublin. I'm first generation American. And he was, do people think the Irish are these like hilarious?
Yeah.
And it's like they are, but they're also yell at you all the time.
It's like the people would always, especially now. I mean, he's old, he's mellowed 100%.
Same with my dad, totally mellowed.
It was one of those situations where they had kids when they were way too young, and they didn't know how to do it, so he didn't react well to it. Right. And so, anyways, he had a terrible temper. So I think that I, in that regard, just pushed away from that a little bit. I still get pissed and stuff, but it takes a lot to rile me up anymore.
That's interesting
really
because I've taken and I've done
because I've seen how. Here's the thing: once you've seen, just real quick,
no, go ahead.
Once you've seen somebody get wrong or get mad, furious over the wrong things so many times, and for no reason and stuff like that, it gives you a better idea of perspective and what is actually worth getting mad over and stuff like that. And maybe that is something, but it gives you a beat and makes you think and sit there an extra second. And it's like, if I leave my roller skates out, maybe that's not worth getting tossed through drywall,
punching fucking
You know what
holes.
I mean? Exactly. You know, like in that regard. So then, when something like this happens, I'm like, well, you know, I did leave my roller skates out and get thrown through drywall. So let's not overreact to this.
Right.
I know there's an element of that. I'm talking, and that's an oversimplification of it, but that's essentially, I think, what it is.
I think my brain, and I'm getting better, but my brain is like, oh, your dad threw you down in the closet because you got to be. You better fucking throw down someone in the closet if they do anything. Like I did, I went the wrong way with it.
You can follow.
Like,
you can follow.
Yeah,
I mean, you really can.
Yeah, I'm like, these motherfuckers need to be thrown down in the closet like the B students they are.
I'll show my dad. My dad's right. I'm gonna impress him.
The thing that is driving me crazy right now, and I gotta learn to let it go, is like this kid, very funny guy. He opens for Nate Bargatze. His name's Aaron Weber. Really funny kid out of Nashville.
Are we getting to the shit talking part?
No.
Oh shit!
Nice
guy. Never mind. I didn't know what kind of
show
this was.
We can talk shit on whoever you want. I don't
know anyone.
Yeah, I don't know anyone.
Mark Maron.
Where's he at? Where's he at? Thinks he's so great.
What the
no
fuck's
one in
with
here
that
would
guy?
work for him. No one would work for him. That was
fucking guy that just decided to put cinnamon in my coffee today. Fuck you.
Dude, my fucking wife, who's not really my wife, I was just explaining that to her. She just started that like it was an acceptable practice. I got coffee and I go, is there cinnamon in this? And she goes, I'm brewing it with cinnamon now. And I go, no, you're not.
Fuck
like,
that.
I don't care what you need to get the baby up in the morning. We're not having goddamn cinnamon in our coffee.
Yeah, that's queer. I like cinnamon. My coffee so much. I don't know how to get out of this.
Yeah, that's the word. Oh, God.
Oh, God. Mental note, never put cinnamon in Jamie's coffee. You'll think I'm queer.
So this kid, Aaron Weber, right before the pandemic breaks out, he goes, dude, you got to get on TikTok. He goes, it's because I'm bad at social media. Like I'm just bad. I'm a bad social media guy. I don't know how to do it. He goes, you got to get on TikTok. Trust me. I know what it seems like. Just do it because your shit will get in front of people that aren't following you. And I was like, fuck that. It's just teen girls twerking. So, so I'll look at it, but I'm not going to join,
exactly.
you know? So I didn't do it. And then, like, I was just bored, in the quarantine and just started throwing videos up and have had some success. And the most infuriating thing I'm finding, and I have to figure out a way to let this go because I know I'm not a joke thief, you know, like inside, I know that.
You would not do that.
Anytime, any joke that gets like over probably 100,000 views, inevitably some guy comes in the comments and goes, "That's a Gaffigan bit," or that's a Theo Vaughn's bit, and then I spend 3 days fucking spiraling, like calling Mark Norman because he knows everyone's jokes, going, "Is this somebody's joke?" He doesn't know.
Yeah.
So then I watch 8 hours of Gaffigan, and then I'm like, oh, he just talked about the same thing, and your non-comedy brain,
or he said in a Rolling Stone interview, he mentioned that, whatever it was, and there's that's his bit now.
It's always the same. It's just the same topic.
Something
That's all it is. It's like, oh, he also talked about dominoes.
Of course, and you've established that.
Yeah.
So why are you still letting it piss you
off, man?
I mean, come on, man. You got your own take on it, and if it's, you can't beat yourself up over it.
Well, and the other thing that's so crazy about beating myself up over that is it's like, it's never new jokes. So it's always like, comics have been seeing me do this for 3 years. They would have said something, you know, like you, this guy, like a cool dad 69 in Peoria, like you don't know better than everyone. So
that's actually my TikTok. That was me.
that was you, Jimmy.
I knew it.
God damn
that guy's
it,
been
Jimmy.
busting my balls online too. You get around. So I had that's happened with me a lot of things, and the funny thing is, having exclusively had a career in 3 zip codes, the thing is that it's actually a really ripe opportunity for people to grab something if they want, because I don't go anywhere and I don't do anything, and I'm also not terrible. So somebody's like, I'm just going to go and grab a bit from him, and circle through. And I know that sounds, but I know it's happened. And,
I'm sure it's happened.
But the one that pisses me off, and this is total coincidence. This one is not, because I've never even performed anywhere near Patton Oswalt. But this is one of those ones where it wasn't even like nobody stole anything, but it was the same thing. But my version was great.
Right.
And his version was fine, but his version was cursory. It was like, I'm just going to do 2 lines about it. And it was about the song Christmas Shoes. Are you familiar with the song?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Crazy song.
I had this 20-minute bit that was great, breaking it down, going through every aspect of it and stuff like that. It was work. It was a long ass bit that I was real proud of. And then I hear I do it one time and somebody's like, Patton Oswalt, do that. I'd been doing it for years.
Yeah.
But even though I'd done it first, he's obviously more popular and stuff. But what these amazing successful comedians don't realize is that just by mentioning something at their level, they take that bit away from us. And I'm not telling them to change. It's an irreconcilable problem.
Right.
But it was he did 2 sentences on this amazing thing, and now I'm now I can't do that because
you just lost 20 minutes.
Exactly, I just lost 20 minutes of my Christmas material of all things.
Jeez Louise.
There go the holiday party.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. I made the horrible mistake one time, and I learned my lesson. I had a bit that was somewhat similar to a Gary Goldman bit, but clearly different. Went in different directions, but it was a similar premise. And I made the dumbass decision that I thought I would gain his respect by messaging him and being like, hey, I just wanted to run this by you. And I thought he would be like, yeah, dude, totally different.
Right.
Thanks for asking. And he was like, no, don't do that. And I was like, I'm never asking again.
Yeah.
I won't do it here. I've got one for you on him when we get off.
Yeah.
An evening.
And great comic, by the way. And I refuse to listen to, he's got that great Depresh out. And I refuse to listen to it because I know he's a good comic and I know that he's
things will touch
I
on.
know that me and him have gone through, like, he's had the shock therapy, like he's had a lot of same shit as me, and I'm like, I don't want to even hear it because I want my take to be fresh. I don't want
risk it.
I don't want to soak up anything.
Don't let that taint it in any way.
Yeah.
I had to recently talk, and this was awesome. It was an open micer, probably like 6 months in. This is real recent, and he's like, I had to talk him out of stealing a bit. He was just openly like, he's like, yo,
how do you feel about me stealing a bit?
Yeah. And it's like, and he's like, yeah, but nobody knows that motherfucker. And it was like one of the funniest
white guy.
White guy. Yeah. One of the funniest, like, open, like, just random fucking, like, black comic off the street came into like a mic one night, and the joke was, which is fucking great, and I might steal it honestly, but he's like, man, you ever think of the word peanut? Man, that's a weird ass word. Peanut. Those are the only two things that come out your dick. And I'm on the floor.
Yeah, of course. I'd be rolling if there were room in here.
Yeah, that's a bus stop joke, right?
And it's great though.
Then another comic, like, I saw him like starting to like set it up, and he ruined it. And then I was like, hey, you can't like steal. Like, you can't do that. And he's like,
and at least do it right.
And he's
if you're gonna steal it,
right? Yeah, do it some justice.
Yeah,
give it the beat. Give it the beat. P and nut. And
funny thing is, dicks.
Yeah.
That ain't
right. He didn't understand it. Like, he's like, why? Nobody knows him. And I was like, oh,
nobody knows him.
That's what.
Nobody knows you. I don't know that guy.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
And I think that's really part of it.
Whoever that guy is, you're fucking hilarious. Just keep going, dude.
Yeah.
Peanut.
It's intermission time.
Hey guys, it's Brendan. Sorry to interrupt. I just have to tell you, if you like the show, we do a bonus episode every week, plus tons of other content. Go to patreon.com/shitbrainshow. All right, back to the action.
We're happy to have you with us tonight and hope you'll come back often.
I literally got into comedy off an accidentally stolen joke.
Nice.
I was so afraid to do comedy forever. I have stage fright, all that shit. And I took the class at the Improv, and then I went to the Bella W open mic.
Yeah, I remember seeing you down there.
It was my second ever time. Me and Ramon started on the exact same day, and I had this bit about Go-Gurt that was word for word an Ellen DeGeneres joke that must have been in my mind from like when I was 10.
Yeah.
But like I thought I wrote that, and I was like, well, you finally got something good enough to go.
Riding on the wings of Ellen.
Yeah, that's my career. I owe Ellen my career, and not like that kid who faked cancer to get an HBO special.
Yeah, that stinks, but it got you there, and you didn't know you were doing it.
And I stopped doing it.
And
as
you
soon as
stopped
someone's
doing
like,
it.
hey,
Once
that's
you
an
heard
Ellen
it.
joke, I was like,
yeah, I've heard, I've been there. I get it.
Now, so what is, and this answer as first of all, I consider you a comedy friend, right? Mm-hmm. Like, we don't hang out, and I only just moved back to Cleveland, but like when I see you, I like you. I have always respected you, but we don't know each other that well. And I'm frankly a little surprised at how mellow and calm you are, like with taking your stuff and stuff like that. Like, I think I always had a little bit in my mind of you being
a huge douchebag?
No, not at all. Because you were because
get that a lot.
No, because you were one of the guys that was nice to me at those Bella W open mics. Okay. Never a douchebag. That was Chad Zumach. But am I allowed to say that in Cleveland? I don't know how that goes. But
he might show up at your house with
one thing's for sure, he heard it.
He was never nice.
Somewhere
to me.
He just went.
I don't know him. I don't know how he is, but he was never nice to me at the beginning. And some of the older guys like Jim.
Well, he actually turned into a really nice guy.
Yeah,
he really turned it around. He's on a court-ordered probation. He stopped drinking.
But no, you were always nice to me. I think I expected you to be a little more like high-strung about that shit. And I'm really impressed that you have a bit of zen.
Well, I appreciate that, but I'll say this also. I'd never considered, like, I think if I were more invested in comedy itself as that, then I probably would. Maybe I'd give more of a shit,
right?
Or I don't know if I would, but I think I probably would. But I always even feel bad when people refer to me like as a comic and stuff at this point, because I haven't done it and I don't do it, so I feel like I'm getting stolen comedy valor. because I did it for a long time, but I've just been like working in local TV and stuff for so long now.
But humorously though, you're
for the most part, yeah, I know. But people will get into the weeds about the definition of that.
Yeah.
If I'm doing wacky bits that are appropriate for a 5 p.m. NBC Cleveland affiliate show, does that am I still a comic? I'm not, I'm out of practice. I haven't done it much at all and stuff like that. So I just feel and I'm not, I'm not acting like it's rocket science and I couldn't, but I don't have the same experiences and I probably don't experience the same kind of stresses and stuff like that that other people do because I've always had another gig, frankly. And that's, I think that's tainted what I would be, how I would be considered a comic because it's not what I've done. It's just something I always have been doing while I'm doing something else.
I love watching you'll do like your man on the street shit and then they'll like cut back. Like it'll be like some funny, but like you said, able to be on a 5 p.m. show. But you toe the line, and then just watching you come back into and then they go back to the studio, and they're just like, "What the fuck, Jesus Christ!"
Okay, well that just happened. That was a guy who works here.
You also always mix in a drink in your hand. Speaking of which, Jeremy, can you grab that other Perrier out of there?
Just one quick Perrier.
By the way, guys, I need to, of course, give credit to our phenomenal producer Jeremy Demery here at Golden Axe Studio. We are coming at you live.
What kind of a visual thing are we putting on the green screen here? Are we in space?
We leave the green screen green.
That is, come on, guys.
No, we do.
That's a green screen?
We do.
All right, there you go.
We do it's
just a decorative choice.
It's sort of like a weird. I guess it's supposed to maybe represent the inside of our brains. It's like this weird spacey.
Could put anything there.
I don't know. What would you call it, Jimmy?
I don't know.
Can you key that out?
It's where I went on DMT.
Yeah, it's where Jimmy went. Now, so the question I have, what you're checking? Where do you have to be, man?
It was just vibrating.
Oh, it was vibrating. Mm-hmm. Jimmy's watch just started talking during the last podcast. I hate the future so much, Mike.
I know. But you gotta let kids have it.
Yeah, what is it vibrating
it's so
for?
Stupid. It's stupid for you.
Yeah, it's really stupid.
What are you doing with that?
It frequently goes off and is like, you have an elevated heart rate for just sitting there.
There's
We're like, I shouldn't worry about that.
I like that it has like a little aside for just sitting there.
You wore that?
Yeah.
It really gives you updates like that, though?
Yeah. It tells me to breathe and shit.
Oh, boy.
It reminds me to breathe.
You want that on your wrist all the time.
No, I don't. I just don't have a regular watch.
That must
and I got this for $30 through my old health insurance.
Oh, I see. So. I was going to guess it was a gift from somebody's wife.
I also love what a reminder, like to breathe. Like the only time that's used, like if a guy gets hit by a car and he's like grasping for life, and he's like flatlining in his watch.
Especially if you need to hear the name of the suspect, before he dies. He's just like, no, not yet, breathe.
And the watch is like, breathe, Dave, damn it,
Joe who.
So I guess the question, the one question that I want to kind of ask everyone and answer it as seriously or ridiculously as you want, or don't answer it. What are your quirks? Like, what is it in your brain? Like, what do you deal with that you think, or have you dealt with that you think has been difficult or abnormal, or like, just something that's not, that makes you not necessarily a shit brain, but somewhere in our line.
Yeah. I am definitely a shit brain to my own degree.
Shout out,
no doubt. Shout out to shit brains everywhere. I think most people are, and I've got plenty. I don't know. Let me think this through. I mean, where to start? Where to start and not go on for too long and not make it tedious for everybody. Well, do this for me real quick. Give me, each of you, because I don't know if you've revealed this yet, but give me 2 of your shit brain qualities each, and then that'll help me out.
Okay, so I the biggest things for me are anxiety and depression. My whole life I've had horrific anxiety. I was just, I'll give you an example. I was a phenomenal kicker. I could make I made a 57-yard field goal in practice one time.
Nice.
And that's dead
impressive.
You just
what? How old are you?
What
at that point?
I was 16, 17.
Oh, yeah, it's insane.
I mean, well, it's in practice is obviously different. There's no line there, and in high school you kick off a block. But
wow, way to disqualify your impressive kick.
But I missed. I was the only white guy on the team, and I missed an extra point.
And you were the kicker.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Wait,
just goes to show you everything's always true.
You weren't the defensive end?
No, it's crazy. Although Travis Kelce was the quarterback a few years after.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's another weird sideways claim to fame.
Yeah. Just taking his fame. Just not even a credit anymore.
I
Just
wasn't near that in school.
I went to high school 9 years after Travis Kelce was the quarterback of my football team. And so I was good, man.
Yeah.
I didn't miss. I was pretty money. And then one game.
You look like a kicker, by the way.
Yeah.
You could totally.
Well, I was a soccer player. That's why they took me. I was good at soccer, and my brother.
No, but I
had
mean,
been
like
the
even
kicker.
facially, when they would show you, I could see that on the NFL thing. Like your face would look, especially now that you got the gray in and stuff.
Oh
now.
yeah. That's those are the only guys. Still, I'm like a real Mort Anderson. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
The only guys that they let play at 48.
Got a cigarette in his shot.
Yeah. And I probably halfway through my junior year, I missed a extra point wide right, and this lineman told me he was going to kill me, and then I had to go 3 hours on the bus ride back home. And
there's a good one.
And in all honesty, no one was really mean to me on the bus. Like it was just that one. On the bus, they were like, it was a lot of back and forth. Like, man, you suck. And no, you know what? You all right. You all right. You all right. You all right. You know, but why didn't you make? No, you know what? You okay?
Right.
Like it was pretty supportive for what happened. But Mike, my anxiety somehow connected to my physicalness. Never made another fucking kick in my career.
Got
ever.
the yips.
Really? I got the yips. I missed wide right.
Yeah.
Every field goal, every extra point. They eventually benched me for a lineman that kicked with his toe. My dad wouldn't let me quit the team, so I was just a kicker that stood on the side,
riding the pine.
Man.
So
and you got all the poon that came with it.
Yeah. So I've always had.
Wait, you're the kicker that doesn't kick?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So
that's my type.
I've always just been this really anxious, and that tied into stage fright, keeping me away from comedy forever. And
yeah, but not to trace all of that back to that event, as opposed to whatever didn't help you handle that event properly.
Exactly.
And process it
that's
properly.
Not that. That's an example.
I got you.
That's not the. No.
Cool.
I spent years trying to narrow down the
the root of it,
and then I also I deal with depression, and I'm pretty convinced. Different people think different things. I'm pretty convinced that it's simply a genetic thing where something in my brain is a little bit off, and the chemicals aren't going.
I tend to lean that way myself,
where they're supposed to be going, and I don't.
It's an unfortunate hand to be dealt.
Yeah,
it really is.
And it's I kind of have gotten through the rough patch of it, and hopefully it doesn't come back. But those are two of my shit brain
right, Jimmy,
qualities.
Also, I think you stole that story from Jim Carrey's Ace Ventura.
Just so you know,
Jeremy
is saying that apparently that story was stolen from Ace Ventura.
Yeah, as I believe the transgender kicker. Was that what happened in Ace Ventura?
It's looking back, it's not problematic at all.
That fucking scene,
it's fine.
That scene,
everything still holds up. Yeah. I was surprised. I was like really progressive, really forward thinking,
killing it.
Yeah.
Oh man,
your two brain.
I don't have
shit
two.
brain thing.
I don't know.
Yeah, come on.
I don't have nothing, dude.
Dude,
I can't diagnose me with nothing.
No, but you don't have anything. So
no,
why are you on this show?
I just don't know what it is.
Okay. I know what it is.
It's booze.
Well, no, we'll put that aside because I think that's something you can deal with or not deal with. But
I get manic. I'm fucking
exactly.
manic.
You get mad. But you get mad too.
I get real.
You get real mad.
Yeah. It's like the lineman who wanted to kill you.
Yeah.
I love picturing him like right now, just like fucking circling your picture.
Yeah.
I have to kill you now.
I'm like,
yeah, I have rage.
Yeah.
I have like some, and I think a lot of that comes from growing up with two bitchy older sisters that just would torture me to fucking, what was their soundtrack? What was their torture soundtrack? Usher. The first Usher album.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that'll bring me back to fucking Vietnam.
Dude, that's a part owner of the Cavs, man.
Yeah,
you
what
can't
are you,
talk smack.
nuts?
He owns 0.2% of the Cavs. Home team. Do you not like Cleveland?
Yeah.
This guy hates Cleveland sports and the Browns.
I also love the idea of you someday in a psychiatrist's office being like, I think it's the first Usher album that did
No, I
it.
get it.
And he's
But
like, no, it's not.
No, I
What
think
the fuck are you talking about?
That's nothing to do with Usher.
Yeah.
But I understand the sister thing. That's something.
Yeah. I was the youngest too, so I had to like always bottle it up.
Yeah.
So that I tend to do that, but then I learned
Youngest of, I'm sorry.
to 3.
Okay, so 3.
Youngest of 3. Horrific bitchy sisters.
Yeah.
They're great now. They're fucking awesome. But I bottled a lot of shit up, and then I've learned how to just fucking let it go.
Yeah.
And it's a horrible trait and gets me into a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
A lot of
You need
impulsive.
to learn how to not let it go a little more.
Well,
Yeah.
here's the thing I was thinking about. We talked about this last week. So the CVS, he went into CVS, and the whole goddamn CVS had yellow tape over the whole thing, right? Which is
Fucking
ridiculous.
bureaucrats.
Don't be open if you have yellow tape over the whole thing. All
100%.
Jimmy wanted was some soup. He was
That's all he
hungry for
wanted.
some soup.
Just want some damn soup.
And the woman wouldn't sell him the soup, so he threw it at a display and smashed the display and left.
It's probably unnecessary.
Now, I was thinking of what you did. Okay, I was thinking of it all week, and this is what I was thinking. I'm not giving you some fucking nerdy answer like, don't get the soup, right? Because that's crazy. They're open. You needed soup. There's soup there. I don't know what the yellow tape's about. But this, I think, would be like the thing to do in the future. Just be like, all right, well, I need this soup, and your doors are open. So here's the soup money, and I'm going to take this. And that's that.
Well,
and then walk out.
I
and
did, but then it escalated because I that's the other fucking thing that
can't
drives
escalate
me
if you
insane.
walked away.
You're right. You're right. Well, I did walk away, but I made a point.
right.
And I asked her. I was like, "Why?" I was like,
Emphatically.
So your whole store is shut down?" And she said, "Well, you don't follow rules. I'm not selling you that." And then that was like the fucking fuse. That was just like, "Fuck you, bitch."
Oh my God! So you were like technically like a right wing dude with no mask on or something like that could end up on a security camera.
Wearing a mask, baby.
Oh, all right.
Those
He
masks
did
go.
end
So it wasn't
He
mask.
ended up on-
What rules didn't you follow?
Their like internal rules.
They had
like-
there was yellow
Yeah.
tape over the whole store.
they were
So he went the
cleaning the
wrong
floors.
way.
He went
Yeah.
a place they said that you couldn't
you weren't
go.
allowed to get soup.
But so what I'm saying, Jimmy, is don't even let her talk to you in that situation, right? Be like,
Shut up, bitch.
No, just be like, this is crazy. I need the soup.
Yeah.
Your doors are open. I'm leaving $2 here. Call the police if you
You're
want.
still being an anarchist at
Yeah.
that point.
Yeah, you're not-
You don't lose cool points.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and if they call the cops, you know how confused the fucking cops are going to be when you're
Right.
when they're going to be like, "What crime?"
So he overpaid by 13 cents.
yeah, exactly. So he paid too much for soup, was polite, and left.
Yep, exactly. He left you a tip
Yeah.
for the soup and then went out the door and you want me to go arrest him?
Yeah,
Yeah, you're 100% right.
but I get it. I do
But
get
it's
it.
a matter of processing it and taking those moments and
Yeah.
taking a beat.
yeah. It takes me a week normally to.
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
know.
man, I probably
You
should
just got to
have
get
done
that
that.
time brought down. You got to bring that time down a little bit.
But I'll be honest, like, it's hard because I was mad. I get mad about the same things. And when you told me that story, I was so fucking satisfied at what you did.
Uh-huh.
You know, it took
I know.
me a week of thinking to be like, oh, that's what he should have done. You know, so
Yeah.
like, I get it because I get so angry at that sort of like bureaucracy, that bullshit.
Fucking bullshit.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah, it's
it's fun
infuriating.
to vicariously live through the id that is Jimmy.
Yeah,
it really
we
is.
talked about id last week. We realized Jimmy's got a fucked up id. I've got a fucked up super ego.
Yeah.
My guilt is just
Right. You're right.
overarching.
But yeah, you just got to take a beat, man. That's all. That's
take
all
the
it's
beat,
about.
baby.
I know. That's it. Because here's what you have to look at that is, you're right. You're not mad at that dumb lady. You're mad at the bureaucracy and the dumb her for no reason putting those rules on you.
Correct.
And so, but like you can't like that's just what I've gotten to, and this has been really helpful. Is when I encounter a woman like that who's being unreasonable, obviously, and it doesn't always work, and sometimes I still get pissed and can't hang on to it. But I'm just like, I feel bad for whatever the fuck got you here, that you got to act like this. How empty or broken or shitty is your life that this is your way of showing authority and power, that this is what you need to get through your day. And then I pity them. And that sounds probably a bit egocentric, but I do. I pity them a little bit. And if I can muster some pity, it helps me grit
walk
my
away.
teeth and walk away.
That's
Jimmy,
smart.
this fucking podcast is paying for itself already. This is our free psychiatry.
I know, right?
Like, I kind of thought this might happen by having good guests, but
You have
this
a degree, don't you?
If you ever need a Jimmy whisperer, I'm your man.
Yeah, he can fucking
It's a minor.
tame me. It's weird.
Yeah.
I'll call him because I'm never going to tame you. I like
No, I'm not
wild
taming
Jimmy.
him. I can just explain him to you.
Yeah,
I won't I stopped trying that. Jimmy's gonna Jimmy.
Yeah.
And he's a good man.
Well, that's why I had him on. He's my.
That's what,
Can I tell you what happened? And this is, I guess, behind the curtains stuff that nobody will care about. I said when I moved home here and my podcast was coming to an end, I said there's two guys that I really jibe with comedically in Cleveland, Jimmy and Mike. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, if I ask Mike, I don't think he'll do it. I also think it would then have to be the Mike Polk show.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask Jimmy, because then it could be my show and mine and Jimmy's show. It really was between you two, and it was like, yeah, Mike won't do it. Also, there's that
I get it.
level of things.
I totally get it. I don't like when I bring that, but I appreciate being considered. It's nice to be in the running. It really was. No.
What would you have said if he would have asked you?
I would have been like, that's very cool. I said, but I can't do that every week because I'm not. One of my things, let's get to it, is that I completely lack ambition. And I don't know if that's a mental thing or what, but I just don't. I guess I'm just not ambitious in the right ways. And even though this would be something that would probably be, and it wouldn't have anything to do with you. I think it'd be great to do something with you. But I won't do anything with anybody, including myself, most of the time. And I just don't. I don't get it. I don't have that fire in me.
Well, it's interesting. That's interesting. Like, because I wonder if that. What do you think? Like, I wonder if that's a judgment you put on yourself because you look at your comedic resume, and it's like you've done fucking more than most people I know. It not necessarily like on NBC or whatever, but like in terms of creative output, it's huge. It's fucking dwarfs like most everyone I know. So that idea that you don't have ambition,
but I hear that's cool and I appreciate it. But it's like I know I know how many hours there are in the day, and I know what I could be doing, and I know that I could be monetizing things properly or protecting my property properly. Right. I know that I should probably be doing a podcast. I should know. I should probably do TikTok stuff like you've made the understandably reluctant but smart decision to get involved in because it's something that's involved in your career and it's helpful right now. And they're right. It is. I've had a bunch of people tell me that. I don't want to. I don't have it in me. I just don't have that fire, man. Right. I mean, I should know my password to whatever my Instagram account is.
Everyone would love to know their password.
No, Mike Beater has it. And if I ever have to, like if I'm ever promoting something like a show I'm doing, I'm like, hey, can you log into my Instagram account, Beater, who like manages me? I'm like, and just tell them that there's a show at Pickwick. He's like, the show's in an hour. And I'm just like, I know, but we're just trying to push last minute. I don't know. And he's just like, God damn it, Mike. Like that kind of shit. I'm bad at it. And I get
have to send the link to this to Beater.
And then I say, call Jimmy to ask for the link. I don't know what the link is. Like, but I'm not like one of those people who's like, I don't know what buttons are on a computer. I could learn this shit. I just don't because I'm just I'm not particularly ambitious. And if that's one thing.
So who did like all of your video, you have so many videos and sketches. Was that something you were ambitious about?
Yeah, I was more fired up back then.
And so you would edit that and you would do that? Or
I did all that.
You did all that. Okay.
Yeah, I did back in the day. I mean, not all of them. Like we did that Office. We did an Office series for a long time, and McBride, my buddy Aaron McBride, edited most
Funniest
of those.
dude alive.
Yeah. But like for the most part, I did my own editing and stuff. But then I saw like I never belonged in YouTube. Like I was just there at the time that it happened to start a little bit and had some things up that were on at the right time and everything. And it became like a community and they all wanted to talk to each other and everybody wants interaction with viewers. Like every place you ever go to, they're just like, if you engage with the audience, I'm like, I don't want to talk to the audience. It's just not how I want to. That sounds terrible. It's nice that they watch, but like I don't want to talk. You're right. Can't you just
living in the fucking YouTube
Can I do what
comments?
I want to do and not have to talk to everybody about it?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like but it's part of it now. They're like, well, if you don't get on there and tell them how appreciative you are and stuff, and I am, I just don't want to engage and wish them happy birthday. You know what I mean? Like, and the fact that that's part of it now, I've never been part of that, so that's not been great. I mean, helpful career wise and stuff. So, but I would say like I don't even know how you would describe that as a mental issue. And I'm not saying it's comparable to these ones, just me not giving a shit. Or
you're an underachiever.
But it's also I also think it gets mislabeled a little bit, and I do mean that because, like you said, I do stuff, but I think it's about what we consider to be achievement, and
That's true.
It's about valuing. What do you value?
That's what I was going to say.
When people are always saying like, you could get this on Sirius and you could do this, and I'm just like, what would I get from that? Like, in a couple extra bucks, I don't care. What would I get from that? Like a few extra followers or something like that, and I just don't give a shit. Like, I'd rather just be I think sometimes we prioritize the wrong.
Yeah, because it sounds to me like you don't. That's lack of ambition is not the issue. It sounds to me like there is no issue.
I think you figured it out.
What?
Like some of this shit rubs off on me, I think, which fucks me over because I still have that stupid like I gotta get fucking touring. I gotta like get that stuff, but I do pick up some of that shit from you. You've ruined me. It's all your fault.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I think I mean what I'm hearing is like, you know your own priorities, which seems pretty healthy. You know what I mean? Like, what's important to you, and maybe that's held you back from some opportunities, but opportunities you probably didn't want.
No, it's hard to separate those things. It really is. And that's the thing. Like, how do you separate your lack of ambition from you're just genuinely, this isn't my bag? Like, I was really thinking, of course, I'm sure you guys have both had this. You've each had an aunt say to you at some point, have you ever thought about going on Saturday Night Live? And they act like, they're like, I don't know, did they is there an application thing on Craigslist right now for it? Like, they don't understand. Bless their hearts. But they're like, you ever think about that? And, for a long time, I was like, I did think about that because that's where I was supposed to be thinking about, based on comedy and based on what you're supposed to do and based on the kind of shit I was doing and based on everything. And people are always telling me that. And I'm just like, is that really? Is that? And it did seem, of course, I love Saturday Night Live, history of it, all that shit. But like, if somebody offered me that job right now, of course I would take it. But I'm not fiending for it, and that sounds like a nightmare.
Job,
that sounds terrible.
Well, everyone I know that has, particularly that has written there, has been like, great resume builder, fucking nightmare.
Of course,
fucking nightmare.
And that's not surprising, but I would still do it in a heartbeat, of course. But the point is, like, the reason I've never felt that, like, I'm not sending in packets every week and stuff and whatever, like, is because that's nothing. Like, that sounds like a terrible thing that I would not want to do, and it's supposed to be the ultimate thing that I'm supposed to be aspiring to. So right there, it tells you that I'm just not meant for that kind of world.
5 years in a row, despite them telling me it was bad in the first year, I submitted in a packet. I included a sketch called RoboCop 5 that was about a fat cop that trips on Robitussin and accidentally solves crimes. Like, he gets so high on Robitussin.
And then you got hired.
First year, they told me it was bad, and I sent it 4 years in a row because I said, fuck you. This show won't be good till you realize this is a good, funny sketch.
That seems like the way to approach it.
In my mind, I was like, I don't think you guys know you can trip on Robitussin. That must be the problem.
No, listen, Lauren. Lauren, who's been doing this for 72 years. Here's why you're wrong about my Robitussin.
We got to go in a second, but before we do, we have another of your issues. Jeremy, pull up the tweet in question. Yes. Now, this is
Turn
Jimmy.
Up the hot seat, baby.
Jimmy. This is possibly, we're looking at the possible first ban ever on Shit Brain. Mike Polk
getting canceled the first time I come
tweet
on.
from Mike Polk at 3:28 a.m. A man who just told us about his lack of participation on social media. Don't normally crow about career stuff on here, but was just invited by two local comics to guest on their yet-to-be-named podcast. When I inquired as to the format, they said they plan to just, quote, quote, get fucked up and go off the dome, end quote. So things are starting to happen on this end. Sunglass emoji, hashtag showbiz. Now, I think this must be us, Mike. How many podcasts could there have?
Well, first of all, I think Jimmy can attest, roughly 75 a week. Because, and I'm sure this probably was inspired by that, but I don't remember if that was the direct inspiration, but it wouldn't shock me. But I've been on so many podcasts. I'll give you an example, and I'm sure you've been on these, where you agree to be on comedians podcasts. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's some local guys. I'm like, yeah, of course I'll come down there. And then I'm on a podcast for 25 minutes and they're just like, all right, that was great. I'm like, we were going? That was the podcast? They were just still sitting me down and stuff like that. So I've been on my share, but anyways, I'm sorry if I'm canceled.
Well,
I did like it. I liked this.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
I like it as well.
Did this happen after you asked me to come on this podcast?
I don't remember. Probably.
I don't think so.
No, Jimmy claimed it did. And I
think it was before. I think I just timed up because I think you responded, hey, by the way, can you be on my podcast?
Did I?
I'm not lying. I think you're on there saying, can you be on there? I really think this predated this. My invitation to be on this show.
We accept. You are not banned. You are not banned.
It just timed up horribly, and actually it makes you look even worse because I had commented on this before I had been invited on the show, and then Jimmy uses an opportunity to invite me on the show in the comments.
Well, in my arrogant little fucking lizard brain, I go,
you took this as a personal assault?
2 local comics, even though I live here. I was gone for several years. I'm a local comic that wasn't here for some period of time.
Do you know, this just makes me realize.
I'm a local comic. He fucking nailed me on that one.
Yeah. I actually don't even consider you a comic. But do you understand how many, and I know that I really genuinely do, and I don't give a shit if I did this after you book me.
Nor do we. To make that perfectly clear.
But I think it's more hilarious if I did do it beforehand. But do you know how many people I am? Probably, I just think about how many people, because you know how sensitive comics are.
Yeah.
Bunch of soft bitches across the board.
I mean, terrible.
The worst. And
I was entertained by this, but honestly, part of me was like, oh.
But all I think about but all I think about though is just how many people I'm inadvertently pissing off all the time when I don't remember their wife's name or something like that, and then they're just
I don't know anyone's name.
But you know what I mean, and if it's somebody who's thinks you should or you've met them once before, they're just and he's doesn't even remember her name. Fuck that guy. It's just that's how especially comics work, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I mean,
but anyways, that's how I took the air out of your bit.
Well, no,
that's my move. I like to just destroy it.
Well, no, what you did, Mike, is you got yourself unbanned, and that's pretty important.
Thank you so much. I want to be back.
You're going to be back on this thing big time.
Honestly, if I'm hearing 6 episodes, what if I'm hearing 6 episodes and you guys are healed? You guys have to cancel it?
Well, here's the interesting thing. It's I am healed. I'm always going to have these issues.
Look, you're never completely healed.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever it is. But my life's good. You know what I mean?
It seems like it. I'm happy to see it. I'm happy you're back home. I mean it.
And Jimmy also, I mean, we were talking last time and he was talking about his issues and I was like, well, you sometimes sell yourself short. It's comedically, you're I think you're great. You're reliable. Most comics are not reliable. And I know for a fact if I asked you to open or something, you're there. No questions asked. You sell yourself short on a lot of shit. Mm-hmm. But, I think.
No, he's reliable. You can always count on him. He's funny. He's a workhorse.
Yeah, you're going to be fine. We'll get through some of this shit. I'm not.
No, I am worried about him.
Yeah, I am worried.
In general. See my blood crawling with compliments. I fucking hate him.
We got into a slight, we got into what did we get into serious?
A tip that you guys have not.
No. What did we get into that was serious last? Oh, me hanging myself, and
I can see how that could get dark.
Time. And and that what if you ever need a co-host, it's when you're in the middle of a bit about how you hung yourself, and there Jimmy was just looking down at his hand emotion. No,
Googling how to deal with this.
Do you have anything coming up you want to plug? Nothing like that.
Mike Polk Jr. show.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're gonna be doing those monthly now. I talked to the old Sammy boy.
Okay. And where's that going to be?
Pickwick and Frolic. We're gonna take. Tell me what you think of this. We did one last Friday. and it was like that Friday Late Show is a rough sell sometimes, especially for a comic who like hasn't like blown up yet.
Sure.
So I think I'm gonna be dipping into that night and like taking a Friday Late Show here like once a month.
That's great.
And then they'll do like a Sunday show instead or whatever. Like, and they're on the show too, but that way we can keep doing stuff on weekends.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
I think you're probably worried about that headliner like getting like butthurt about it, but
I know it's just here again.
Was
They're
it
also
Nate?
Sensitive. Yeah, no,
he fucking loved it.
Yeah, he was
had
appreciative.
so much
It
fun.
gave him something to do. Like,
Well, it's also like you have to keep in mind. I mean, you know the business. If
and
there's
hit Nate Craig. Yeah,
the
very
thing
funny.
is,
Shout out. So
if
fucking
there's
funny.
a guy that's a guaranteed sell at
Yeah,
every time,
of
they're
course.
not switching. So it's like
and that's
it's
what
not
Sam,
an issue. You
and
know?
Sam knows that I don't have any of that pride,
Right.
Or like as far as
Right.
that goes, like if it times up and it's like, yeah, Attell's here that weekend.
Right.
It's like, well, yes, then we're not going up.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
even care if it's somebody who's. If you guys can make more money with somebody else, put that in there.
Right.
If you can't, I'll go in.
Right,
You know,
right,
and I'll bring
exactly.
these assholes with me, and we'll do some fun shit.
Yeah, so check out the Hilarities website and go to the Mike Polk Jr. show. You definitely won't regret it, Jimmy. I know you got something coming up.
Yeah, I don't know when this is coming out, but if it comes out before, as always,
Should release at the beginning of July.
perfect. Well, then coming up on the 9th, we're bringing in Dean Del Rey. I'm going to be, I think, middling for him at the Winchester.
I thought I was middling.
Or you're middling. Sorry, fuck. I was
So awkward.
Liz Meal.
Fuck,
Liz
I just
Meal.
got bumped.
That's right. No. I'm hosting that one. And then on the 29th, I believe, or the 31st, Liz Mealy is going to be at the Winchester. And I always do the monthly show up there. So check out their website, thewinchester.com, and follow me on Instagram if you can find me.
And I just look forward to following the adventures of one of the most sensitive and least sensitive people of all time talking to each other regularly.
I'm loving it. Are you? I'm very concerned. Are you having a good time so far?
No, this is great. I
It
do
needs
get
to be
fucking
fun.
a little weird.
You do get weird.
I
That's
do
okay.
clam up.
I love
That's
it.
okay though. Like
Well,
as long as
I'm also like talking too much because I had an edible.
No, you're good.
that's fine.
Yeah.
And I will be. In Oklahoma City and fucking Little Rock at the Looney Bins the last 2 weeks of July. I don't know which one is which week, so just go on those websites and you can check me out. Mike, thank you so much for
problem.
coming in.
Oh, how do people find the show?
That's all. I got that all. I got it
Figuring that shit
pre-recorded, post-recorded, all that shit.
Guys all over it.
That's all. They just plug and play, baby.
We're good, baby.
Yeah.
You know what I wish we would have talked about? Do you remember when you were doing that fucking Cleveland.com food thing? I fucking
We'll
wish I
save it
would've
for
remembered
next
this.
time.
For the next
Here
time.
on Shit Brains.
That was great, dude. Thank you.
No problem. Hope it helped.
Do you remember that though?
No, that's great. That's a teaser for next time if you
I
want to
used
come on.
to, so they had him going around doing like Cleveland.com.
I was
had
at
him-
Fox 8 and I was like part-time there for 5 years,
Yeah.
but it was heaven. And it was the easiest gig in the world. And it was like, not horrible, but I was also just picking up some of the worst local side gigs, including going on Cleveland.com and with their video team and rating like hamburgers
Yeah.
and ribs and stuff like that around town. And we'd be doing live video hits. That was part of it. And I'm with
Yeah.
this like marketing team of heavy women who just were filming me and saying, "What's your favorite burger, Mike?" And I'm like, "No, I'm here with Rhonda who makes these burgers." She's like, "We make the patties from scratch in the back." It's like that kind of thing. But they had like a live commentary on the side, so people, the Cleveland.com viewers could comment and like check in and like ask how delicious it was. Well, Jimmy got a hold of that. And so did like several other friends once he did. So like then it's just a bunch of people, and he was the best at it because he would lure people in by being like, he'd do a couple of safe ones first. He's like, "That looks delicious."
Yeah.
You know, it's like, and Jimmy says that looks delicious, and then like live, and then like three more of them, and then he'd do like just some like not terribly thinly veiled terrible
Right.
sex puns. You know what I mean?
Hey guys, it's Brendan. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Shit Brains. if you enjoyed the show, make sure you hit that subscribe button, you review it, you rate it, all of that stuff really helps the algorithm. Throw us a follow at Shitbrains Show on Instagram and Twitter, Shitbrains Show on YouTube. You can email us your questions at shitbrainshow@gmail.com. We even have, for you hardcore fans, a Facebook group where you can go and you can chat and meet up with other fans. That's Shitbrains Show on Facebook. So, and then of course, if you really like it and you want some bonus content, we're coming out with a bonus episode every single week, plus a lot of other bonus content. You're going to want to get on there and check it out. Go to patreon.com/shitbrainshow. Later, Shitbrains.